Hello, welcome to episode 38 of Dick Moby, in which you, an idiot, watch me, a lunatic, unread the great American novel of 1851, Herman Melville's Moby Dick, from end to beginning, word for word, chapter by chapter, from now until the heat death of the universe. Having said that, we're making excellent progress. We're up to chapter 45, would you believe, of 135 chapters plus an epilogue, which I think is excellent progress. Maybe this may even be the last episode. Maybe next week we'll polish it off. There might be a few lingering, there might be a prologue that I haven't taken into account. But so far, over the last 37 hours of this project, I have read backwards. What is it? 100 and... No, not quite. 90 episodes, 90 chapters even, and the epilogue of Moby Dick, the worst book that I've ever read. Certainly, the worst book that I believe has ever been committed to paper. Although I'm not reading it on paper, I'm reading it on the internet, where everything is, including the National Video Game Museum. Actually, that's not true. It's in real life. You can't get there through the internet. You have to go on a bus or a train or a car or a bike, or the internet, which is, it's down there, the nvm.org. If you believe this has any commercial value whatsoever, it doesn't, but if you think it does, it doesn't. But on the off chance that you have too much money because you've somehow held on to your job through lockdown, you could give some money to them by going to their address, which isn't a link. You have to type it in, because I'm too lazy to make it a link. So you type it in, thenvm.org, and you can give them some money, because I don't know, it's probably pretty good. I've not been, but it sounds all right, doesn't it? It sounds pretty good. So you could go there. You probably like it. If you like this, you can click like and subscribe and follow and befriend and massage, any of the options there, any of the positive options, not block, not hate, but all the nice things. You can click all those around the screen. You can probably find them below if you're watching this later on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, say hi in the chat for a start, and I think there is a button somewhere that does something. You could click it. You're probably better at this than I am. Without further ado, let's crack on, because I think this is quite a long chapter, and I would like to get this chapter finished today, because, we're on a roll. I missed 2 weeks of this. I wasn't here last week, and I wasn't here the week before. But let's not dwell on the past. What's done is done. We have an empty sperm buffer. There it is. Totally blank. We found 11 sperms last time. After a relative dry patch, there was a surfeit of sperm last time. I ended up keeping a tally. By way of explanation, there are 271 individual instances of the word sperm in Moby Dick, and I'm using the sperm count to measure our progress through the book. However, I've lost count. They're all on the big board behind me. You probably, through the internet, you can't even tell what they are. But every single one of those things on there is a tiny sperm that I've drawn individually. And each one is a sperm we've so far located in the book, hidden away among the dross, stupid language of Herman Melville. So if we see any, we'll draw them on the buffer, and then I'll stick them on there later. But until they arrive, let us crack on. Uninjured, entirely escaped, had it happily very that found we but. Shock the from damage any received, had vessel the not or whether examined to pumps the to immediately applied de Wolf captain. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten it was about this de Wolf captain. In case you were wondering, I am literally reading this backwards. It's not. There's no trick to it. It's just an effort of will, by both me and you, to get through this. So let's continue. Solemnity and gravity, utmost the with off-sailing monster, the saw we this of instead. Rock some upon struck had we that concluding. Deck thee upon instantly sprang all below were who we while. Altogether fell sails the and reeled masts the. Water the of out least at feet 3 ship the raised. Back its upsetting. Creature gigantic this as. Danger imminent most the in place thus were we. Him against striking its prevent to impossible was it that so. Him upon almost was. Sail full in was which ship the when moment the till board on one any by perceived not was but water the of surface the at almost lay itself ship the than larger was which of body the whale large uncommon an up sprang northwest the from gale brisker that 19th the till not was it wind little very had we days some for. Clothing fur, our on keep to obliged were we that cold intolerably so. But I'm out of practice for this. It's terrible. 2 weeks off, and I've forgotten how to do it. I've forgotten how to do it completely. Cold intolerably so, but fine and clear very was weather the. Oh, good grief. Och, touch. Where are we going with that one? Och, touch. Och, to weigh our on. Sea open, the in-out were we, day next the and. Sail to ready was ship our May of 13th the by. Chapter 17th. Oh, I wish it was the 17th chapter. Unfortunately, it's the 45th chapter. Ages yet to go. We are, however, soon to hit an interesting crossover where the number of episodes of reading crosses over with the number of chapters remaining. I expect that to happen around chapter 42 or something, maybe 41. These chapters are quite short. A lot of them are quite short. We have had some monstrous Leviathan chapters that took several episodes to get through, and this one itself is quite large, but I think most of the chapters remaining are fairly short. Chapter 17th is begins thus: Langsdorff Captain. Century presently of beginning the in expedition discovery famous Krusenstern's Admiral Russian thereto attached was. Way the by know must you, Langsdorff. Hereof writer theto interesting peculiarly point in circumstance little are for voyages Langsdorff's to you refer now will I. Nonsense! No stand will whale sperm the. Yay, we found a sperm. We found a sperm. Excellent. Our first sperm of the night. I'm thrilled, as you can tell. It's been 2 weeks, no sperm. Here it is. There. I'm just drawing it now. You can. This is how I do it. There you go. I'm drawing it. I drew a bit of it there without you seeing, but that wasn't. I didn't prepare that before. That wasn't one I did earlier. I drew that just now. I promise. I'll do the next one live, where you can see it. I forget there's people watching sometimes. There he is. Sperm number 1. Our first sperm. Our first sperm of the night. Sperm there, you tell I. Fright similar by unbelief from converted Tarsus of Saul not was. Providential as whale that with interview Commodores the consider I but. Superstitious not am I. Repair and down heave to port nearest, the for straight made he going pumps his all, with that thwack a such craft Commodores the fetching and consisted business that. Him with business confidential moments few, I beg that. Whale sperm, there's another one. Another sperm. This is going to be another crazy episode, isn't it, with way too many sperm. Well, here's another one. I'll go this side this time. I'll do a left-hand and a backhand sperm. Here we go. My pen's running out a bit. So many sperm have I drawn over the last, whatever it is, 30 weeks, 30 something. No, less than that, because I used to do 2 a week. So I started this at the start of lockdown version 1, and now we're rapidly heading towards lockdown version 2, courtesy of our darling government. Long may this continue. We might even have time to do another book. I don't know what. I'll have to give that some thought. I can't think of a book quite as shit as this one. So we shall see. If we finish this before a vaccine is found, maybe we'll have to read something else backwards. Whale sperm. Portly by way the on stopped was he but. Valparaiso for craft impregnable this in sail set Commodore the. After weeks some. Coming more is there but. Good very. Thimble full as much so leak to her cause to as sloop of war. Stout his smite so could whale any that. Example for denied peremptorily he. Peremptorily. Present gentleman, professional, the by them to ascribed strength amazing, the touching skeptical be to pleased was Commodore the. Whales upon turning conversation. Island sandwich. Oahu! Of harbour the in ship Nantucket aboard on. Captain's whaling of party with dining be to happened. Class first the of sloop of war American and commanding then. We're supposed to guess what his name is? I'm going to say his name is Jommodore. Jommodore Commodore. Go years 20 or 18 some, thirdly. I hope he doesn't play too big a part in this now that I've given him a ridiculous name. It to illusions casual heard then and now have I hunters wail the from though encounter to chance never have I catastrophe this of particulars authentic the but onset similar by Azores the off lost totally 1807 year the in was Nantucket of also Union ship there. Secondly, animal the of attack mortal and mysterious the of speaks he. 45 page. Place another in. Oh, I get what he's doing now. He's reviewing another book about a whale, isn't he? This is Herman's idea of fiction, is to have one of his characters in the book about the whale review somebody else's book about the whale. Maybe page 45 is the bit in the other book about the whale where Captain Jommodore Commodore reviews somebody else's book about the whale. Maybe Admiral Badmiral. Appearance it's made again day until reflections my engrossed wholly. Whale the of revenge and aspect horrid the. And wreck looking dismal the. Thought moments to entitled scarcely seemed. Contemplation fearful of subjects ordinary other the all with. Rocks hidden upon dashed o'er. Tempest dreadful some by up swallowed being of fears the. Nothing were waters swelling and ocean dark the. Shore hospitable any reaching of despairing almost when. Boat open and in night black adjuring. Ship the quitting after time some reflections his are here. Opinion my what have I done? Is that it? 13 minutes? Good grief. Opinion my incorrect am I that satisfied be to me induce. Recall now cannot I impressions which of many. Whale the of part the on mischief calculating decided of mind my in impressions time the at. Producing and eyes own my before happening all together taken circumstances holder events all at again sufferings there for revenge with fired if as companions his of three struck had we which in and entered before just had we which shoal the from directly came he fury and resentment indicated as such and horrible most was aspect his. Necessary were made he which manoeuvres exact the, which effect to shock the, for objects to the of speed the combining thereby, and ahead made being by, injury most the us do to calculated word direction thereto according, which of both, them between interval short at, ship the upon attacks several too made he, operations his directed which chance but it's okay. Directed his which chance but anything was it that concluding in me warrant to seemed fact every narrative chances from extracts are following there. Yeah, sorry, I got confused there. This issue of the footnotes continuing from the directly on from the text itself is it's getting weirder every time. It sort of throws me. I get concerned that I've read things out of order and you know it wouldn't make sense to you, dear viewer. obviously I can follow it because I'm in the moment and in the context. But I know it's difficult enough, this book being so terrible, to really follow what's going on. But in this case, we're fine because the footnote continues from the place where the footnote is coming from. I suspect this may be because of the internet nature of what I'm reading. It doesn't have pages, so it can't be at the bottom of a page. So they've elected to put the footnotes directly following the text itself. So maybe I'm doing Herman a disservice for implying that he doesn't actually know what to do with a footnote. But I hate Herman Melville enough by now that I'm going to ascribe to him such degrees of stupidity. Catastrophe, thee have seen thee of miles, few are within this all land. Son his with conversed have I, narrative faithful and plain his read have I. Tragedy, thee of time, thee at Essex, thee of mate chief was who. Chase Owens seen have I, Nantucket of resident at his Pollard captain day this at. Since it tempted, never has he. See the forswearing forthwith, and lost utterly was ship his time second the fore. Breakers and rocks unknown upon again him shipwreck gods the butt. Excuse me. Ship another of command. I've noticed my chair started squeaking really badly this week. I don't know why. Maybe it's increased slouching as lockdown's gone on. Has led to squeakage. Maybe I'll get some WD-40, or maybe you can just put up with it as I was not doing it now. I don't know how I did it just then. I can't do it on demand. I can't perform under pressure like that. I have to, if it happens, it happens, and we just take advantage of it when it does happen. Usually first thing in the morning. Where am I here? I've lost where I was with the squeaky chair. Breakers and rocks. Oh yes, here we go. Ship another of command in Pacific, the foresailed more once Pollard captain. Last at home returned being. Boats there in land the reached crew the of part. Exposure severest the after. Since seen been, good old seen been. Since seen been has her of plank surviving a knot. Over fell and down settled she even. Minutes 10. Than less in that. In her stove so he, hull her against forehead is dashing. Ship thee upon down directly bore and shoal the from issued, boats the from escaping whale large very suddenly when wounded were whales the of several long air. Whale's sperm. I'll draw it at the end of the paragraph. Let's not interrupt. Let's not break the flow. Whale's sperm of shoal to chase gave and boats her lowered spouts saw she day one. Ocean Pacific the in cruising was Nantucket of Pollard captain Essex ship the 1820 year the in first, and I can see another sperm there. It done has whale sperm. So I'm going to draw them both. I'll draw two sperms. One, I'm just going to do them quickly because it's a bit annoying. 1, 2. There we go. 4 thus far. Pretty good going. 4 in 18 minutes. That's quite a rate of sperm flux. Brilliant. It done has whale sperm there. More is what and ship large a sink and destroy utterly. In stave to afterthought, forethought even. Not afterthought, the opposite. To a forethought direct with as, malicious judiciously and, knowing powerful sufficiently cases some in as whale sperm there. Another one. This is point that. Own my of independent entirely testimony upon established B can seek here I point special the fortunately but. And one more sperm to draw. I'm not even going to pick the buffer up. I'm just going to draw it there. Too many sperms. Egypt of plagues of history the wrote he when. Moses then facetious being of idea more no had I. Sol my upon declare I when. Facetiousness my upon me complimented significantly have they. Enormousness twofold, this of example specifics, some them to narrating when that found ever have I but. power enormous, of creature enormous, and is well that idea indefinite, some indeed have a sure people. Secondly, hang on, secondly, first, secondly, first, secondly. That's the right way around, but we're going backwards. Can't he count? Is it a countdown? Is that what we're doing here? So a count up for us? Well, I don't understand. I'm assuming that was just missed in the edit. It forspilled was blood, mans of drop, one least at but. Burn you gallon or not. Candles and lamps your with economical be, sake gods for. Crew boats are lost each had that three and, one than more them of some. Well, by death a had, which of each every, which of one every. Oh, horrible. Ships different 30 spoke we others many among. Pacific the to made I which voyage particular one upon that you tell I yet. Guinea knew from indirect or direct news regular called be might what here ever you did fact in. Guinea knew and here between irregular very are males the because. No. Breakfast you're at tomorrow read will you obituary newspaper that in appear will name fellows poor that suppose you do. Leviathan sounding the by sea, the of bottom the to down carried being is. Guinea knew of coast the off well lined the by court perhaps moment this who. There fellow poor that suppose you do. Record that forgotten immediately and transient however. Home at record public finds ever fishery that in casualties by deaths and disasters actual the of 50 in one not that is perhaps reason one. One secondly first recur they which with frequency that and perils those of conception even vivid fixed alike nothing have they yet fishery grand the of perils general the of ideas flitting vague some have men most though first. We flip-flopped. Allegory intolerable, it really is. Allegorily, alligators. Allegedly, allegory, intolerable and hideous detestable more and worse still or, fable monstrous as Dick Moby. There he is, you see? There he is, one of his rare appearances in the book, Dick Moby. There's Dick Moby. I knew this was going to be a banger of a chapter. Things always kick off when Dick Moby appears. He's a party whale. When he goes large. Dick Moby. At scout might they, fishery the of, otherwise and historical, facts plain, the touching hints some without that. World the of wonders palpable, most and plainest the of some of landsmen most are ignorant so. Error as bolstering much as full requires truth where instances disheartening those of one is this for. Catastrophe the especially more. Whale white the of story whole the of reasonableness the respects all in establishing form printed in as importance seem me to which things other two or one of mention make two. Here just than place better a find can I where no not do I. How long is this chapter? Goodness me. Let me just highlight Philip. We'll come back to Philip in a second. Let's see how much further we've got. No, not too far. Not too far. Not time for an interruption quite yet. Let's continue. Philip King, Indian, the of warrior headmost there, Anawan, savage, murderous, notorious, that capture to mind, his in it had old of butler captain, Woods Narragansett. Woods Narragansett, the throughout setting in as. View in much as object express that with anchors there upheaved who, captains whaling valiant by killed and chased, out-hunted systematically, of quest in gone finally were, vessels different of boats, the among havoc great creating times various at after, Miguel Don and Tom Zealand knew, all not is this but. Tom Zealand knew, very good. Scholar classic, the to Scylla or Marius, as history citation of students that are known well as Wales 4 are here. Prose plain in. Back thee upon hieroglyphics mystic with tortoise, old and like marked, whale Chilean thou. Miguel Don, oh, so not it was. Sky thee against cross snow white, of semblance the assumed times that say they jet lofty whose, Japan of king. Morquan, oh, so not it was. Lantatu, the of vicinity, the in wakes there crossed that cruisers all of terror thou. Jack Zealand knew, oh, his name was Tom Zealand. Jack Zealand knew, oh. Maybe it's Tom's idiot kid brother. So not it was. On bay of beach, palmy, the from scene oft was spout whose. Name that of straits oriental, that in lurk didst long so who. Iceberg and like scarred, Leviathan famed thou. Tom Timor, oh, so not it was. Caesar or Cambyses, as indeed name much as had. Name of distinctions and privileges, rights the all into admitted was he but. Death after stories forecastle in immortal is now and life in famous he was only not. Renown ocean wide and it call may you nay. Celebrity individual great enjoy Wales famous, these of each did only not but. This is awful. I'm still a bit peaky from last week. I missed last week, so I had a cold. It was just a cold, but it was a cold. We have to call it a cold, it's just a cold now, don't we? Because if you get anything resembling any kind of respiratory or coughing or anything like that problems, it's no longer a cold, it's just a cold. But it was just a cold. I was convinced it was just a cold. And it appears to have just been a cold because I'm largely better, but I'm still a little bit peaky, a little bit stuffy in the nose. A little bit croaky in the voice, a little bit of vocal fry going on. Struggling a little bit with the old words there. Not that the words matter really, because it's total hogwash dog shit anyway. But let's, we may as well press on, and I'll be back to full strength next week. I'm absolutely convinced. Presumption there for thump. Summary receive might they. Further acquaintance the pursued they if lest, street the in him to salutations unobtrusive distant make they. Man great irascible, and know to happen that ashore devils pour some like. Acquaintance intimate more cultivate to seeking without. See the on them by lounging discovered, be would he when tarpaulins there touching merely by him recognised to content were fishermen most, that in so much Rinaldini Rinaldo about did there as well as such about perilousness of prestige terrible. Anyone remember where the last full stop was? Come on, Herman. Terrible hung there fishery the of experience is fatal the from that. This was reason the no. Oil valuable peculiarly into down him boiling and him killing by peculiarities his to end and put soon they be may whale chance any respect that in peculiar however for whales other from distinguished as peculiarities bodily his to owing originally and altogether not was marked thus became whale as such why cognizable popularly places and times distant at been has ocean the in whale particular are where instances historical memorable several been have there that I have no breath left. It of be may a shore world, the ignorant, however, fishery whale sperm, yea, the in known well is it. Secondly, Another sperm. What's that now? 6. 6 chunky sperms on the sperm buffer. There you go. 6 of them. Nowhere near a record. I think it's 18. We need 18 to break the record. 17 is the record, I believe. I can't remember, unfortunately. I'd have to go back and watch every single episode of this until I find the episode in which 17 sperms occurred, just to find out if it is actually 17, or it might be 18. But we may smash it anyway. If I stop rambling on, we might actually hit 19, and then the point would be moot, wouldn't it? Impeach. To ground good, know is their matter the inveracity whose persons from instances other may have heard, have I but of truth the know personally I which, then instances 3 are here. That than more was it sure, pretty am I but. Years 3 say I. Previous years 3 there observed had I which. I Wales the under mole huge of sort peculiar I recognised distinctly time last and first. Times both boat the inn was I that out fell so it. Instance 3 year the inn. Fish dead the from taken afterwards, them in cut marks respective the with irons to the sore. Attack seconds the upon, and struck whales the sore I them of 2 in is that. This to similar instances 3 known have, myself I say I. Other the vanquished one the and together came again whale this and man this. Purpose no to but Africa of coasts the all flanks it's with brushing, globe the circumnavigated thrice had it doubt no. Travels it's on been have also must struck had he whale the meanwhile. Regions unknown of heart the in wandering to incident perils common other the all with. Miasmas poisonous, tigers, savages, serpents by endangered often. Years too nearly of period are for travelled he where. Interior the into far penetrated and party discovery adjoined. There ashore went Africa to voyage on ship trading in go to. Interval the inn. Happening them darted who manned the. That than more something been have may it think I and harpoons too the of flinging the between intervened years 3 where instance the inn. Body the from taken been have cipher private same the by marked both irons to the when slain and hands same the by struck again been has years 3 of instance 1 in. Interval and after, and escape complete at affected has, harpoon a receiving after, whale a where instances 3 known personally have I. First. Oh, back to first. So first, second, second. I think there's some kind of binary code going on here. I think we're going to interpret this later as a secret message. Itself of follow naturally will at aimed conclusion the. It take I citations these from and whaleman as me to known reliably or practically items of citations separate by impression desired the produced to content be shall but content be shall but methodically task my of part this perform to not care I affair this of points main the of verity natural the to as mind some in induce may subject entire the of ignorance profound a which incredulity any away take to moreover and understood adequately be to order in upon enlarged familiarly more and further still be to requires it of matter leading the but volume this in found be will as one important as is part earlier it's in chapter foregoing the whale sperm I'll draw at the end of habits the in particulars curious and interesting very 2 or 1 touching indirectly as indeed and book this in narrative of B may there what as far so T la do re mi affidavit the 45 chapter there we go another one done another sperm to draw that is 7 thus far awesome. There we go. There's all the sperms that we found in that chapter, and it is done. Hopefully that is the last of the long chapters now. I think it should be. I think, there's no, we don't need any longer. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, good grief. It's got a footnote that doesn't even fit on the page at this point. We have to jog over somehow. I don't even know if that's going to get picked. Is that working on the stream if I jog over? Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? We'll navigate those waters when we get there. That's quite a long chapter, though. I don't think we're going to have time today. It's 25 minutes to go. But we got to crack on. We got to rattle these off, otherwise we're never going to get finished. And this is going to run to the point where I start getting bored of it and start getting annoyed that I have to do this every Friday for the rest of my fucking life. Wouldn't want that. Wouldn't want to lose the impetus, would we? Beverly Crusher from Star Trek: The Next Generation, the other great American work of exploratory fiction. She beamed down to a planet in the episode I watched the other day. I don't know what episode it was. I've lost track. Somewhere in series 6, I think. She beamed down to a planet, right? Cut from like the Enterprise with them. You didn't see her on the pad, on the teleporter pad, but you saw her materialize on the planet. And she went there with like 4 others, maybe. Riker was there, I think. Worf, maybe. I don't know. The usual kind of awaiting crowd. Some guy who turned up to get shot, as the old hack joke goes. And Beverly Crusher. Beverly Crusher arrived with her foot up on a rock. She materialised with her foot up on a rock. Right? Jaunty pose. It's all well and good, but that implies that when she set off through the teleporter, she must have stood there on one foot, on one leg, with one leg up cocked in the air, like a dog, just on the off chance that when she landed, she would have her foot, pre-set, prepared, ready to land on this one rock that they just aimed her at, so that she was in this pose. Maybe she was stood with her foot up on the monitors. She might have been doing a Led Zeppelin concert for everyone else on board when there was an emergency and they had to beam her down to the planet admittedly without her double-necked guitar. And she landed there and just happened to be in the right position. Maybe that was why they beamed her there, because she was already in that position and they knew that. Well done, Miles O'Brien, if you hadn't already left for Deep Space Nine. I can't even remember what the episode was about. I just remember Beverly Crusher landing with her foot up in the air. It's the little things, isn't it, that you notice in Star Trek. It's not the major events. Because there are no major events, let's face it. It's just the minor little niggles there that, that bother you, that disturb your countenance as you watch it. I am trying to get through Deep Space Nine, though. I'm working hard, because I'm now watching 2 series at once, as I said the other week. God, Deep Space Nine's hard work. It's terrible. It's really terrible. The Doctor in it is abysmal. Every time he comes on the screen, I feel like I just want to shut it off before I throw the monitor in the canal. It's terrible. I don't know how I'm going to get through. What is it? 16 series of that. Another 19 series of Next Generation. Thankfully, only 14 series of Voyager, because they cancelled it. I guess so, because it was so bad. We'll get there, though, innit? We'll get there. If I can read Moby Dick backwards, then I'm sure I can manage to watch Star Trek forwards. No one's forcing me. It's not like I'm not doing it for clicks. Creates he creature very the vulture that ever for heart that upon feeds vulture Prometheus him makes thus thinking intense who's he and thee in creature created have thoughts thy man old thee help God itself in blankness therefore and colour to object and without but sure be too light living of ray being somnambulistic formless thing vacated but time before was room his from rushed Ahab seemed what when eyes bodily of out glared that spirit tormented therefore birth unfathered and unbidden, the from horror-stricken fled. Conjoined was it which to vitality common the while burn and live grimly could, nay, own its of being independent, self-assumed of kind into devils and gods against itself forced, will of inveteracy sheer own its by purpose that purpose supreme one his to fancies and thoughts this all upyielding case Ahab's in that been have must it therefore soul the with leagued unless exist not does mind the as but integral and longer no was it time the for which of thing frantic the of contiguity scorching the from escape sought spontaneously it agent or vehicle outer its for it employed times other at which mind characterizing the from dissociated time the forebeing sleep in and him in soul or principle living eternal there was letter the again horror in it from burst to him caused so that agent the not was. I think it sounds like the script to the Matrix. Hammock his to gone, well definitely hammock his to gone had that Ahab this whale white the of hunter steadfast unappeasedly scheming the Ahab crazy Ahab crazy times such at four intensity its of tokens plainest the but were resolve own his at fright or weakness latent some of symptoms unsuppressible the being of instead perhaps these yet. I'm glad something made me laugh in this episode because YouTube seems to be quite clever at choosing the single frame of the entire thing where I look like I'm enjoying this for the thumbnails. I don't know how it does it. It must have some kind of facial recognition technology that my hat and beard don't confuse. Fire on was that bed from escaping though as rooms state his from burst would Ahab eyes glaring with and ship the through heard be would cry wilder him beneath yawned himself in hell this when them among down leaped to him beckoned fiends accursed and up shot lightnings and flames for well that's appropriate isn't it up shot lightnings because lightnings usually shoot actually they don't do they am I right in thinking the science there is that the lightning meets in the middle doesn't it start from the ground and then a bit comes down and meets it if you look at lightning, slowed down like 2 or 3 times with a special lens. I don't really know how the mechanism that works. I mean, I did study physics, but not lightning physics. I did different kinds of physics, none of which can I remember. Upshot lightnings and flames for... I was just going to say, though, it's appropriate with reading it backward that the lightning shoots upwards. But then I thought, well, maybe the lightning does shoot upwards in real life, and then this would be... But actually, I think it meets in the middle, so it doesn't matter which way you read it. It's wrong. Oh, could be right. It's questionable. Ambiguous. Upshot lightnings and flames forked, which from him in opening seemed chasm at hand. Base its from up being his heaved him in throes spiritual these. Case the sometimes was as, when and anguish insufferable became life spot his of throbbing very the till, brain blazing his in round and round and round. Is it round? I was going to forgive round and round, but I'm not sure round and round and round. I mean, where does it end? Is in round and round and round and round and round and round and round. Them whirled and frenzies of clashing amid on them carried. Day the through thoughts intense own his resuming, which night the of dreams vivid intolerably and exhausting by hammock his from forced when often. Palms his in nails bloody own his with wakes and hands clenched with sleeps he. Desire revengeful unachieved, one with consumed is who endure man that does torments of trances what? God! Strength his recovered to seek, would he deck thee of air open the in and him overcame pondering of faintness and weariness at ill. I know how he feels. Race breathless, in on run would mind mad his here and. Ear sheep's lost, alike out scalloped and bored are fins broad his. Escape he shall, and him tallied. Reveries in back himself throw would he midnight after long till charts his overpouring after as. Himself to mutter would Ahab, wail the tallied not I have and. Unmistakable be not but could. Hump Snow White. Oh, it's a filthy fairy tale. Hump Snow White, his and. Dick. Moby. Of brow Snow White peculiar the four. Yes. Constantinople of thoroughfares throng thee in mufti white beard. It does even. Oh, sorry. I lost the plot. Right. Relax. Humping Snow White is not funny at all. The word dick. Devoid of humour. Thoroughfares throngs the in mufti white beard as even hunter is from recognition. Individual of capable thought be should. Encountered if even whale solitary one. Ocean boundless broad thee in that this idea mad, but not it seems. Coolly and discreetly regarded yet. This all granting but. Wake, circumnavigating Pequods, the of world circle zigzag devious, the interdict Moby. Oh, come on, Herman. He's gone crackers. He's just started writing any old shit down. Whatever words come to mind. Wake, circumnavigating Pequods, the of world circle zigzag devious, the interdict Moby blow might. Simoon and Levanta, the but wind any. Trades... Harmattans, nor'westers, pampas, monsoons that so. Race his by haunted waters, other any in ore. Seas China ore, Bay Bengal the in ore. But Gulf Persian the off brow wrinkled his upturn should. Feeding grounds periodical his from remote far seas. I bet whales read feeding grounds periodical. They get it quarterly. With all the latest research in where the kelp live. Feeding grounds periodically his from remote far seas in vacation his spending. Well white the chance by if. Hunt miscellaneous in spend would he. Ashore enduring. Not endure. Assuring. Ashore enduring impatiently of instead which interval an. Him before was nights and days 65 and 103 of interval and because. Things of complexion vary this to view with. Ahab by selected correctly been, perhaps had sailing Pequods the of hour premature they yet. Season ensuing next the for wait must he, therefore, there cruise to time in Pacific equatorial the in arrive latitude of degrees 60 down running then and Horn Cape double, southwards passage great, the make to commander her enable could then endeavour possible no. Season on the line, the of beginning ferry, the at Nantucket, from sailed had Pequod the now. Oh, my voice is really starting to struggle now with reading backwards for 50 minutes with a lingering cold. This is becoming more and more difficult as time goes on. But quest intervening, all postpone to as heart unquiet is tranquilized so he could vow his of sleeplessness the in nor. Hopes those to be might it flattering, however, mentioned above fact, crowning the one upon hopes his all rest to himself permit not would he. Hunt unfaltering this into soul brooding his through Ahab which with vigilance unloitering and uncomprehensiveness cautious the in but. Vengeance his to motive awful the found had man old monomaniac the where spot tragic that was also there. Deeds his with storied were waves the there. Place taken had whale white the with encounters deadly the of most that too was it there. Zodiac the of I watched Zodiac the other night. That's a good film, isn't it? I've seen it before several times, but I haven't watched it for a while. I enjoyed it very much. I think Mark Ruffalo is an excellent actor, especially when he's his own size and not green. He's very good in that. Jake Gyllenhaal's good in that. I like him. Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. I forgot his name there for a minute. Robert Downey Jr. is good in that. Who else is in that? Chloe Sevigny. is in it. She's good. Lots of people. It's got a cast of thousands. The one guy I spotted, interestingly, I'm going to let you can be the judge of that. I'm going to have to find his name. I'm going to look up his name. I'm going to go on the internet here and look up his name. I'm going to go on the IMDb Zodiac cast. Not that this matters, but I'll tell you who he is. You'll know who I mean immediately. In the film Pi, have you seen the film Pi, the Darren Aronofsky film Pi? In that, there is a very brief sequence, and I believe this guy's been in all of Darren Aronofsky's films, but has never had a significant role, I don't think, in any of these things. I can't think of his name. I'm going to have to scroll down. He's in Pi. There's a bit where Sean Gullett's character, what's his name? Max, is on the train. And he believes he's being followed. He believes he's being creepily followed by people from the stockbroker firm. And there's a guy who sings a brief snippet of a classic song from a musical, I think it is. I know the Frank Sinatra performance of it, and I sing this song to my children at bedtime. And it goes, "Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. 'Cause I only have eyes for you, dear." But he cuts off, and then when Max looks at him, he's disappeared. He's gone. You know who I mean. The guy's name is Stanley B. Herman, right? And he plays that character is called something like Uncle something in Pi in Aronofsky's films. Hang on, Uncle Hank. There you go. And Uncle Hank is in Requiem for a Dream. Does he reprise the role of Uncle Hank? Yes, he's in Black Swan as the same character, Uncle Hank. In Requiem for a Dream, he appears at the orgy party where Jennifer Connelly ends up when she's strung out and goes and sees, I forget the character's name, the big black guy who's runs sex parties and stuff. And one of the guys there, I think he may even be the guy who shouts "ass to ass." I've not seen it for a while. It's a funny film. I like it. But my point was that Stanley B. Herman appears in Zodiac for maybe a split second, but he's so recognisable. I immediately latched onto him as at his appearance. He's in the press room. If you've seen Zodiac, there's a newspaper. A lot of it is to do with the press, because the Zodiac killer wrote to the press repeatedly. So it's set at the newspaper. Is it the San Francisco Chronicle or something, I think. And he's like a editor or whatever there. He's I don't think he's got any lines at all anyway. But yeah, Stanley B. Herman. How did I get onto that? Oh yeah, Zodiac. Zodiac, that wasn't interesting at all. I know that, but nor do I care. Zodiac, the of sign. Can I finish now? 7 minutes left. Zodiac, I've said that 4 times. How long is this chapter? Too long. Let's get to the crazy bit. Let's see if we can get to the crazy off-center thing and then stop. Zodiac, the of sign 1, any in interval predicted, for loiters round annual it's in. Sunday as, a while for waters those in lingering, descried periodically been had Dick Moby, years consecutive several for. Then and there for, season on the line the, phrase technical one that in conjoined were place and time set particular that. Excuse me. Certainty at a thing next, the possibility every, thought fondly Ahab as, and probabilities become would possibilities all when. Attained were place or time set particular at air, his were prospect extra, antecedent, wayside whatever, to made been only has illusion, of spoken been hitherto have object his accomplishing, of chances Ahab's where and. Abode prolonged of places his not, speak to so, ocean inns and stopping places casual his only seemed these all but. himself revealed times that had he where grounds feeding other some with, too, so. There him encounter infallibly would she, season corresponding subsequent to any at spots those of either visit to Pequod the were that, follow not did it yet, coast Japanese the on Bay volcano or, Ocean Indian, the in-ground Seychelles, the called is what on. Example 4. Seen been, there he is again, seen been. Yeah, he's excellent in Lord of the Rings. Seen been your former. Seen been your farmer. Yeah, former. In had Dick Moby, though that's so. Whale sperm, a little treat there, a little happy finish to the episode. Whale sperm aged. Matured the among hermits and solitaries the two applies, limit wide less within only, remark same there, general in. True proved has this of contrary, though where instances unquestionable and peculiar are there though, season preceding the there found were that those with same the identically be to outturn will, say, yeah, this longitude or latitude are such and such, haunted not such and such and such. Haunted which herds the that conclude cannot you general in yet. Grounds particular for seasons regular. There have whale sperm, another one. Wow, 2 sperms there at the end. Gregarious sperm, whale sperm, gregarious the though. Perhaps reality the in so not but. Scheme methodical still but delirious his entangled to seem sight first at which circumstance I was there. Let's draw those 2 sperms quick, and then yes, we will get as far as the weird off-center bit. There's one, another one, just there. There we go. Another 2. Right, yeah, I've only got these 2 paragraphs, and then we'll quit. Meeting. Out of prospect without wholly be to not then even as weigh his on himself time and place so art his by could he grounds those between water of expanses widest the crossing in but pray his encounter to hope Ahab could feeding grounds separate known well upon time substantiated at only not hence and for looked be confidence great with may whales migrating path that along and breadth that within seasons particular at that is some the zone magic this along gliding circumspectly when mastheads whale ships the from sweep visual the exceeds never but contract or expand contract or expand not contract contract or expand to presumed is vain the as less or more width in miles few some embraces generally swim to said is he times these at which in vain arbitrarily the yet wake straight. I always do. Wake straight. Unavoidable own it's to confine strictly be advance of line the though and parallel surveyors as straight be whale one any by taken direction the cases these in though precision marvellous such of tithe one with chart any by course her sailed ever ship know that exactitude undeviating such with ocean line giving out a long way there continuing called are they as veins in swim mostly deity the from intelligence secret rather say instinct infallible some by guided whale sperm look at that whale sperm right at the end there one last little drop whale sperm there another to feeding ground one from passage and making when besides the end. It's not the end, but it's the end of tonight's episode. One more sperm. There you go. That's all the sperm we found. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10's not bad. 10 is not bad. Certainly above average for this endeavour. Pretty good. Well, that's it anyway. I'm done. Thanks for joining me, watching, whatever. You can like and subscribe if you think this has any value. If you think it has commercial value, don't give me any money. Give the money to the National Video Game Museum. The address is down there. It's not a link, it's an address. which you have to type in to the box. Up there. Is it up there? There, I think. Type that in there and then press enter. And you can go and donate to a good cause, the National Video Game Museum, which I assume is a good cause. I've not been. But it sounds good, doesn't it? Who doesn't like video games? Apparently nobody likes video games. You know, they announce new video games. Gamers go, no, I don't like that. No pleasing some people. Certainly no pleasing me this evening, because this has been an ordeal, as usual. But at least we're nearly finished. One more episode. Well, maybe two. 1 or 2 episodes left, and then I should do it. You think? Well, we'll find out next time. Join me again. Bye.